Hello, and glad to have you here today. Today is number three, and we are talking about today how how to do the do's of handling objections. So we want to have success and be able to handle objections because that's just a part of life. It's a part of our, as being business builders. It's just a fact of life. It's just the way it is. And handling objections is a really great thing to be able to do and to be able to do it effectively so that things go smoothly. So as you're hopping on today, let me know what your takeaways were from what you've heard so far. Is anything that stood out to you that you think you might try, that you figured out, yeah, that is something that I don't want to do, and I have done that before or whatever. I know I have. Because I didn't understand that, it wasn't aimed at me. I was so concerned about self and my feelings that, I took it, the wrong way, or whatever. And so I want to be aware of that and not reflect that to my customer or, my team member. So as you're hopping on, say hi, let me know where you're coming in from. I'm going to go on and introduce myself to those of you that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting. My name is Cherie Woodard, and I help business builders and entrepreneurs to use social media to get prospects, leads, and sales in their business. And I use a variety of ways to do that. I use attraction marketing, lead generation, as well as live video. I also use the most modern and updated trending strategies and tips to help you to be able to move forward with what you're doing and, to be on the cutting edge because what I learn, I come and share with you so that you can, by the same token, be able to take that information and be able to use it in your business. So when we're talking about success in handling objections, there are the do's. I talked about some don'ts yesterday, and I probably slid into some of the do's as I was talking. But I have three things that I have written down here on my notes. And I am going earlier today than I normally do because I have a workshop today. And I did find out it was scheduled later in the month, but they ended up having to move it up. That's because I know I remember mentioning it, in some of my lives earlier, on in September or something, but whatever, stuff happens and we have to move, we have to continue to show up and do the things that we want to do to help and serve those people that we want to help and serve. So as we're talking about, and I have notes down here and I have notes on my screen, so you'll see me looking here or looking over, but primarily it's important to, when you are talking to someone and then it's their turn to talk, you want to listen to them and you want to use what I call deep listening, what I learned as deep listening. You don't want to, look like you're not really taking in what it is they're saying. People so want to be heard and they so are, in need of that because they probably run into a lot of situations where it's not the case. They're talking and the person is kind of, not really listening to them and and then they come back and they say, so what do you think about this, as they're pushing their product on them or whatever, or their servers. And it's just not a good thing to do. I mean, think about, for me, how I would feel. Sorry if you're hearing the trash man is out there grabbing the trash. So if you're hearing bumping, I hope you don't, but that's what that noise is. So as you are, thinking about how you would feel, that's what I do. I try to make sure of how I would feel and how I felt before when people have just kind of not really heard a word I said. They just kind of keep on with what it is that their agenda is, what it is that they want me to do for them instead of what they can do to help me with my problems and helping me to find solutions. And that's how it was when I first started out. And I can remember asking for help and not getting anywhere. So when you use deep listening, you're really, you're making eye contact. You may nod your head. It depends on, you as a person and how you listen to people. I have a tendency, uh, and some people, I remember my mom used to go, uh-huh, oh yeah, uh-huh, really, uh-huh, that kind of thing. But I'm more of a quiet listener, and I'll say, I might nod my head, and, if it's something that I want to clarify, and that's another one of the do's, is to repeat what it is that they said to make sure that you're actually really getting what it is that they said. And that's important. And that allows them to know and to see that you're just not, blowing smoke or, sitting there like this. You're actually really trying to hear what it is, and you're actually hearing what it is, not trying to hear. You're hearing what it is that they're saying, because you're repeating back to them their words and making sure that that is what you heard and what you're understanding them and their needs are, and what the solution is that you can point them to. Excuse me, nose itching. So that's something that I find that really helps. And then the other thing is, with people wanting to be heard, there are, a lot of people out here that are hurting. There's a lot of pain, there's a lot of frustration. All types of stuff is happening in our world. We've been walking through some really rough stuff. And so to be able to put yourself in their position, or to show them that, empathy, to show them that you are concerned about their feelings and what it is that they're saying, is important as well. And that's one of the three things that I wanted to mention today. And when you're doing that in handling objections, I think it just makes it go so much better. And then this is something that I've heard, through my mentors, and you may have already heard this, you may already be doing this, but it's called the feel, felt, found. And it's not something that I discovered, it was discovered by someone else. The name won't come to me right now, but I believe I believe my mentor said it was something that Eric Worre, and I don't want to be wrong, but I think that is what I remember being told. So you want to be able to, when it says feel, felt, found. A lot of times when someone says, well, I feel what you're what you're talking about, and I can remember feeling that way too. And then, moving on to, as you're steadily talking, and then you say, I I feel, feel, felt, found. So then you go to, yeah, I feel you, what you go, David, please. I feel you, feel what and I know, for me, what it was like. I didn't think I had this. I didn't like, say, if it was time. I didn't think I had time for this, but then as I kept thinking about it, I felt that if I did not take the time now, that nothing was going to change, or something like that. And that's exactly what I felt. I felt like I had to get somewhere and do something different because I didn't like what I was doing. And it was really starting to weigh on me as far as making me not feel good physically and mentally. So that's important. And then to the found part, but here's what I found. And going online for me and finding mentorship, investing in myself, and wanting to seek, those people that were successful in what it was that I wanted to do, seeing those people and looking up to them, then I wanted to be mentored so that I could in turn grow and learn and take action in the things that I wanted to do to reach what it is that I wanted to reach as my overarching, goal, or, you know, and one of the main things I've always wanted to do is to take my boys and just go on a vacation, a real vacation where I wouldn't have to be concerned and frustrated, or, thinking about the bills or whatever, that kind of thing. So when you put it in that you're feeling what it is that they're going through. You felt that way, and this is what you did, and then and then as well, this is what you found, and this is what helped you with to find solutions to your problems. It makes it easier for people to be able to maybe then picture themselves in that. And it's not, that you got to be with the big lavish houses, the big cars. I've listened to my mentor talk about, the cars and stuff, and how when you don't make that same rank or something, and that you got the car, and then she said a lot of people were unhappy and upset because then they had to come up with the payment for the car because they didn't make that rank that they had initially gotten the car for. So, I never really have been into cars or the big, huge houses or the looking like, I was rich or anything. I do like my backdrops, but overall, it's important to just be real and just, show my little backwards bookcase thing I've got up here in the back as my background, and to just, be me, just be real. And that's what's really important. And by being real and being hearing what they're saying, repeating it back to them, and helping them to point them to solutions, point those people that you want to help, that you want to serve to solutions, will really, get those. Um, it'll just make things better. It will get those objections out of the way. And one more thing, which I probably should I'm gonna say it anyway. But also, if you can, you already think about what objections might be, you can address them even before the person, says what it is, what their objection is. You can, uh, so to speak, headed off at the pass, because you know what that's like. You've been there, and I've done this and that, and I know, that when this happened for me, such and such and such, and but I was able to find a way because of such and such and such, and so on and so on. So I hope that this was helpful for you. I hope that this week, what we had to talk about was good, and that you found some value handling, in handling objections, and knowing that sometimes people will call rejection objection, objection rejection. It's, for me, I don't find it that big of a deal anymore. In the beginning, I was like, no, 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 it has to be. And then but I don't want to be one of those where I just got to have it this way. If someone sees it different and that's the way they want to say it, or they want to use it, then that's fine with me. And because I haven't really heard anyone clamping down on that. So some people will use rejection and objection as, the same in term interchangeably, but overall, I still call it, like I said, objections, but it's not that big of a deal. So I have my training that I'm going to be getting ready to go to. I don't want to keep you too much longer. Remember, if you have any questions, or you want to, have another conversation about this, maybe some more points of handling objections, you can always reach me in Messenger, and we can go from there, and I can see if I can help you with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get off. So wherever you are in the world, no matter what time it is for you, have a great rest of your day. Have an awesome weekend, and I'm gonna go on and get out of here so that I can get ready for my training. So take care. Have a good one. Bye now.